Hi guys! So this is my 19 to 25 week pregnancy update for pregnancy number 2. So it is the first week in April 2020 and we're in the midst of a lockdown in South Africa. Thus, me basically still in pajamas, hair in a mum bun, like not getting much time to do anything except household chores, looking after my current baby, and work. You know, it's been real. It definitely has, and life has completely changed. But let's quickly focus on the pregnancy first, and then we can talk about what it's like living in the middle of the corona epidemic and being pregnant and things that I've been thinking about and people I know have been thinking about. So, the last few weeks have been very, very much the same pregnancy wise. I have hardly any cravings anymore, like almost none. I have now picked up 8 kilograms, just over 8 kilograms. There was a stage where I had picked up 8 kilograms a few weeks ago, and then I got sick and the coronavirus thing happened, and I all of a sudden had to look after Monique all day, all night by myself because Rudy was working overtime and over through the night. And like basically I was doing everything by myself with, the nanny and the maid having been sent home to protect her. Well, not nanny and maid, it's one person, but our nanny who helps to clean and look after Monique being sent home to try and protect her and during this whole coronavirus thing. And like it just was a lot of stress on myself and I lost weight. So I did lose over a kilogram, but I've started to pick it up again. Pregnancy wise, not much symptoms, as I said, not much cravings, except the last 2 weeks I have found that I have a little bit of cramps again. Nothing like in my first pregnancy. My first pregnancy with Monique, I had severe and intense leg cramps at night. I think I've had maybe 2 or 3 of them so far, so it's a lot better this time around. I think also the fact that I'm so busy makes it so that I can't really sit and dwell on my pregnancy symptoms. Like I've said before, I've definitely expanded. There was a stage from I think about 19 to 21 or 22 weeks where I was picking up a kilogram a week. I was really like, I was obsessed with food. All I could think about was food, 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 food. And even though I've got an increased appetite at the moment and we're definitely eating a lot more because we're at home and it's cold and it's coronavirus and it's lockdown and people are anxious and stressed, I've realized that it's not necessarily any cravings or necessarily pregnancy related eating, but more like comfort related eating and something that I would have done in any case had I not been pregnant at the moment. I have also experienced an increased breast size in the last few weeks, a largely increased breast size. It's almost like I'm ready to produce milk. I may already be producing milk. I don't know. I'm not going to check. That's disgusting. Actually, it's not disgusting. It's strange how just a few months ago I was breastfeeding, or like a year ago I was breastfeeding, and now I'm in this idea that it's gross again. But in a few months from now, I will be breastfeeding again, hopefully getting it completely right this time. Because with Monique, we had to use nipple shields because she had a tongue tie. That was a tongue tie. And, she battled to latch properly. And then she got used to the nipple shields and she never moved off of them. So this time I'd like to do it the proper way, the way without any of the nipple shields if I can, so that it makes it a lot easier, because I remember going out and being stuck in the middle of a shopping center and having forgotten the nipple shields and not having milk or formula and Monique refusing to drink from me. And I've got the screaming little baby. So I think it's a lot easier if you could just kind of do it wherever you are and you don't have to worry about formula and sterilizing things and all the millions of work that went into using nipple shields and expressing, which I did up until 9 months, which was a long, long time if I look back at it now. I have also been sick, so even though we're at only day 9 of the lockdown at the moment, I have been at home for 12 days now. So I'm not feeling wonderful. I have slight flu symptoms. I have a wet cough. I have a postnatal drip. I did call the corona hotline and they told me that it's not corona. What I've got is more like a flu, allergies kind of thing. So I haven't been tested, but I don't believe that I have it because my symptoms, and I've never had any kind of fever, and I've always had a wet cough, not a dry cough, and I don't have the lethargy. So nearing the end of the second trimester, I also have a large tummy. It looks like I've got a baby bump, like a little basketball in there. And yes, in the beginning of this second trimester, I was very naughty. And when strangers would ask me how far along I was, I'd be like, no, I'm not pregnant. And, see their jaw drop and realize that they just called someone fat. And then, obviously say, come to their rescue and tell them the truth and be like, no, I am pregnant, don't worry. It's just something I always wanted to do with Monique, and I never did, and this time I got to remember it. So living in the midst of coronavirus and being pregnant in the midst of the coronavirus, it's something that obviously it's changed my life completely because I'm not going out at all anymore, being high risk, or apparently being told that I'm high risk, and on top of it having the flu. And, it's obviously changed the way that we live because, in South Africa, it's pretty normal for a middle class household to have a nanny to help or someone to help out with the housework so that I could get my work done. And it has been a huge adjustment learning to work with Monique at home and still sit with her high energy and being pregnant and both Monique and myself not feeling wonderful. It really has been a lot of hard work. Anxiety wise, I was very anxious before the lockdown started, but I kind of feel that like God has got us in the palm of his hands and he will provide for us no matter what. And even though the future is uncertain, we're just trusting him day by day, minute by minute. I am very lucky compared to some other people I know who are having their first pregnancy at the moment. And as you guys know, I've already have Monique, so I have basically all of the baby essentials, not everything. There are some stuff that I still need, and my baby bag is not packed yet, and I haven't figured out how I'm gonna split this room between a toddler and the cupboard space between a toddler and a baby, but all of that will come in the future weeks. I'm sure that I will get the time, hopefully after lockdown, in order to spend a little more time focusing on that. But, there are some people in their first pregnancy who don't have anything yet. I think all you can currently get is baby essentials, which is like food, formula, nappies, toiletries, that kind of stuff, medicine. And they're unable to buy, the other baby stuff because all businesses and shops are closed except for grocery stores and essential services. So I know a few people who are quite disappointed and stressed out about that. And I'm just praying and believing that everything will be sorted out. And if you're in that position, don't worry, everything will come into place. Everything will be sorted out in time. Just take it one day at a time because stress is not good for you or the baby. And anyway, I have also got a doctor's appointment that I'm supposed to go to next week. Actually just 2 days from now, and I have actually moved it up 3 weeks further until lockdown is over and I feel a bit more safe going to the hospital. I know that it's kind of something that I have to do at some point because I will be 29, 30 weeks by the time I go and see the doctor. So it would have been 8 weeks since I last saw him. So I can't really postpone it much longer than that. But I don't really want to go into hospitals or medical places where I know that there's a good chance that the coronavirus has been around because that's where you go when you're sick. But, I'd like to protect myself as far as possible, and with it being my second pregnancy, having a healthy pregnancy with Monique and, feeling healthy except for basic flu-like symptoms or postnatal kind of symptoms at the moment, I feel that, it's not necessarily an emergency or I have to go at the moment, so I have postponed that. But if I do get any weird sensations or weird situations before then I will definitely go in. So that reminds me, I did forget one symptom. At 19 weeks pregnant or 20 weeks pregnant, somewhere there, I started getting these intense pains at the bottom of my pelvis, really sharp shooting pains. And, I was like, I don't think that this is contractions because I didn't feel them in my back. And then I started thinking that maybe I do have like a blood infection. So I ended up going back to the gynae, and he tested my urine and said it was completely clean, and asked me to show him where the pain was, which I did. And then he explained to me that it was just round ligament pain. Then when I saw the doctor at 22 weeks, he explained to me that the round ligament pain was exasperated by the fact that I carried my 1.5 year around, or almost 2 year old around, and that I really needed to stop doing that. So some of the things we've been focusing on based on that. And I must say, since I'm not carrying her around as much, I'm trying to teach her to walk up and down the stairs by herself and to go from A to B and only carry her when I really have to. That has helped intensely, and those pains have gone away. But I must say that that was very, very intense round ligament pains. Then there's also like the thought of possibly having this baby around the coronavirus, and just praying and hoping that it will be sorted out really, really soon. I've been reading things like if you have a baby during the coronavirus outbreak in South Africa, at the moment they're only allowing the father in for the birth of the baby, and afterwards he's sent home. And apologies. Afterwards he's sent home, and he just comes to fetch you guys after the few days, to try and protect the patients, which I completely understand. But I'd love to get visitors like I did with Monique. I'd love, for my family and Ricky's family to be there. I'd love for people to actually meet, our baby when our baby is born, not a few weeks later, which amidst the coronavirus situation is one of the situations that you will be facing, that you cannot take the baby anywhere and let people see them. So yeah, that's one of the things I'm really hoping for to have cleared up by then. I know that my date is now the 2nd of July, which is the date that the doctor has set. And if baby does not follow Monique's pattern and example and actually comes when they have to, then it will be the 2nd of July. If the baby comes at Monique's pattern and Monique's, date, we're looking at around about my birthday. So this is what my baby bump currently looks like. As you can see, it's still relatively high. I'm in my pajamas, but we're rocking a big, strong bump. So if you're on the journey with me and you're in a country where there's coronavirus or lockdown, you're also pregnant at the moment, what are the things that you're doing to keep yourself healthy? How are you staying away from people? Do you have a backup plan? What are you experiencing at the moment? We're just about to enter the third and last trimester, and we're getting really, really close to due date. I know for myself, it's less than 3 months, so I'm really excited about that. Until next time, bye.